the barber too often anymore. But back in the days when you did you find that your barbers all had good heads of hair?
Honestly, I never thought about it.
Think back to your barbers.
I haven't. I've been to like maybe four. I've been to bar like 4 times in like 30 years. No, I'm serious.
That's true, because you had when you did have hair, you had long hair.
I never ever got it cut.
Yeah.
My barber was Bob, the barber right downtown.
Yep.
And he's dead. I think
he's dead. Yep.
That's a real bummer, isn't it?
Yeah. But the guy over there, Al.
He's got hair.
Yep, he's got hair. He's a good guy. That's where my dad goes.
Is that where you? Oh, I see. That's where my dad went too.
I went over. I always went to Black's in Culloden. You familiar with that place?
Yes,
okay.
I've been there. I have been
there.
And
Mr. Black has since retired, and now there's a guy named Greg there, and I go to see Greg, get the old haircut. So
I see.
It's riveting news. We're streaming, by the way. We're live. Hey, Hasifa, what's going on? Lurker74, Pishbot, welcome to this is the hands of welcome.
Welcome to the theater of the mind. Except you can see us. It's no radio thing.
So I'm going to set my monitor over here, and Aaron, I'm going to pour us a little holiday cheer.
Beautiful, despite the fact there's no holiday in sight. But
well, Thanksgiving is coming soon, and it is the fall. So I've purchased for us some traditional apple cider.
Mm-hmm. Now, tell me, there's no booze in this cider.
Hold on, the booze will come.
Oh, I see. Okay, the great cider. I love it.
Okay, I'm glad that you like cider. I was afraid that it would be one of those weird things that you disliked. All right. Now, I've got to be very careful with this because this vest is dry clean only. Oh, that's great, Jason. Going to see, I guess him and Chris are going to go see Thor Ragnarok.
It's funny. I was just talking to my chemist.
Everybody needs a chemist,
and he's going to see it. He's got tickets. It looks good, and I'm not a big Thor guy, but it looks pretty good.
What's the deal with Thor?
He's God of Thunder. God of Thunder. Remember that Kiss song?
No.
No. Okay, fair enough.
So I know that Thor's got a hammer.
Yeah, Mijwar, however you
now,
pronounce it.
Were you a big reader of the Thor comics back in the day?
I did not like his comic. I did like the character, but not enough to where I'd go buy the comic. I was more of a Hercules guy. He was in the, he and Thor kind of ran the roads, and they were sort of like frenemies. Mm-hmm. But Hercules was more of a beer-drinking ass kicker. Thor was more of a straight-up butt kicker with not the booze or the frivolity.
He didn't really have a lot of personality.
Well, no. I like the way Thor talks,
How does he talk?
He's like, what's one of his
favorite? Does he use like Old Norse?
I'm trying to think of one of my favorite Thor sayings. He would say, he had a bunch of like little Thorisms, he would say. And I don't know what, you'd think it was the Norse, stuff, but I don't know where the guys, would get it. But he, he'd say stuff like another, all of the guys in the Thor universe talk the same, right? They're all from that area. So I remember one guy, they would call Thor Thunderer, hold thy tongue, Thunderer.
So more
lest I call down the lightning on you.
So really more Old English than
That's
Old
right.
Norse.
Yeah.
So before we talk about anything else, are you done with your notes?
Well, I'm confused as to why you. It's the pre-show. Can I not do some pre-show stuff?
I'm pissed off at the world today.
Why?
Because of you. Because of something you said.
What did I do?
Aaron.
Can I drink some of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, well, actually, no. Let me add the booze first.
I've angered you in some way? That doesn't sound like me. Oh, shoot. For someone that's mad at me, you're sure giving me the top shelf stuff.
I won't.
Vodka? Interesting.
This is, I looked at all of the cider.
Oh, is this going to be about the damn GameCube?
That's right.
I did not madmouth the GameCube.
You destroyed the GameCube.
No, I did not. I own a GameCube.
When I told you that my kids were gathered around the GameCube controller, my students, your words were, I can't remember what your words were, but they were derogatory.
Oh, no, they weren't. You took them incorrectly. I was surprised. You said they were all looking at it in awe. And I said, wow, I could really blow their minds with some of the stuff in my collection. What I meant was that the GameCube's not that old, is what I meant. If they saw something really old, it would probably be more impressive because it'd be more foreign and alien to them.
I thought that you just meant that you would you would just tell them how much the
I don't have any problem
GameCube
with the game.
sucked.
Hey, you know what I liked on the GameCube?
What's that?
I liked Burnout. I thought that was a cool. I remember playing that. Day of Reckoning and Day of Reckoning 2 were both tremendous games on the GameCube. I believe they had Luigi's Haunted Mansion on there.
Yes.
That was a fun game. I don't have any problem with the GameCube. What I've said before, which I think is true, in an age where you can get a Wii for nothing, and it plays all the GameCube games, it sort of made the GameCube sort of obsolete in a way.
You know, it's funny that you mention that because I thought about what you said, and I have a problem. It seems like the Wii is not a console that you want to be near. Like the GameCube, you know, you want to pull it right up close to you. It's got that cute little handle and everything. But because you need the sensor bar and all that stuff for the Wii, you almost have to have it across the room.
You don't need the sensor bar to play GameCube stuff.
Don't you need it to navigate the menus?
In fact, you can't use it. You use when you put you've never played a GameCube game on the Wii, have you? On the side of the Wii, if you pop it up, you don't have a Wii. But wait, there's when you pop up the side, there are 4 GameCube joystick ports. Mm-hmm. And so once you put a GameCube disc in, it just starts the GameCube game. You don't even use the Wii sticks. I don't think even. I mean, there may be.
Does it save the game on your SD card?
It's even got card slots as well. No, it's got card slots for the
GameCube's card
I don't know
slots.
what the options are, but as far as I know, you save them on the card slots too. Yeah. So
now,
it's a game. The one thing the Wii. Here's a little tidbit because I like the Wii. Right, the Wii is very, very similar to the GameCube in hardware.
Right,
and so it was no big stretch to run the GameCube stuff. That's why it does it. They had this plan from the beginning because effectively the Wii is like effectively a glorified GameCube. Mm-hmm. So if you like the GameCube but don't like the Wii, they're sort of kind of the same. I mean, down to that they play the same discs in the same way.
Right. Now, is it possible to mod a Wii the same way that you can get it to play backups off a hard drive?
Absolutely.
Can you do that with?
Yes, you can. And I can, and I have done it.
Because Eep loves Animal Crossing. It's the one video game that we can play together. And by play together, I mean she sits and watches me play it. And we always played down here in Amigos Studios. But as you can see, Amigos Studios is not for playing anymore. It's only for podcasting.
You've turned over the whole...
Yeah, the whole room has just been...
if I was her, I'd beat you like a dog. And you have it coming. That's the worst part.
That's true. So I want to set the Wii up upstairs.
A wise choice.
But I just don't want to have to deal with that dang sensor bar. It's ugly. I don't want it sitting up there with the stuff. And so, like, I want to use it to play the Wii or the GameCube version of Animal Crossing because I figure that doesn't require the sensor.
You don't need any sensor bar if you're just going to play GameCube games.
And the Wii controllers
don't use them. You have to use
GameCube controllers.
That's
okay,
right.
so I'm going to have to rustle up.
Which are easy to get. I've even got a couple.
Well, and again, the problem
controllers
comes,
are garbage. I hate the GameCube.
See, this
controllers.
is
now that's one place I'll fight you.
I'm surprised. We're gonna have to do this all night.
Here's the thing. Why don't you can't you just turn off the screensaver, or is it power saver? What is it on that?
I don't even know what's going on with it actually, because it should, as long as that screen's on, it should be working. Let's turn this off right now. But I always thought that the GameCube had a great design. The controller was it was well designed for the games that were on it. You know, your PS2 controller is probably the greatest overall controller design of all time in terms of it can play every single kind of game. But for games like Mario Sunshine and Luigi's Mansion, having that trigger that is really sensitive, you can press it down various ways. You can make the vacuum suck at different strengths. You can spin the water cannon and stuff like that in Mario Sunshine. Plus, it was the first controller that actually had a really good analog stick, I thought.
I agree with the stick. I don't have any problems with the sticks. I don't like games. I don't like the buttons. I don't like
the button layout is weird.
It's stupid. It's a stupid button layout is what it is. And it started this crap with the N64 with stupid buttons. I don't want different colored different sized buttons.
Right.
I want them all the same, and I want them in a certain area. It's okay to put A's on them or even put dots or feelies on them, but I don't like them. And what made that one worse is that they're just in weird spots that your fingers aren't used to. I mean, if you chop off the button layout, I don't have any problem with the GameCube controller. Perfectly fine. Analog is good, but I don't like the buttons.
Yeah.
Now, games that only need a couple buttons, it works fine.
Right.
You know,
but if you're trying to play Street Fighter or something on that thing,
what they do is they limited themselves, and they limited the appeal by doing that.
Sure.
And to a certain degree, the Wii did the same thing. And it's one thing to have those controllers, and I know they ended up having those add-on controllers, but you know how that goes. No one's going to buy those add-ons. No one's going to support them.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I do have an awesome thing for the. You've seen that joystick adapter I've got for that hooks into the GameCube ports, and it's awesome. It lets you use any joystick you want and play GameCube games with them too.
Yeah, that is really cool.
You know, I got it for a song too. You know, so it's really good. But no, I don't have any problem. I was surprised you jumped my hind on there because I was like, "What's he talking about?" I don't got any problem with the GameCube. I love all the consoles. I love all consoles. Oh.
Let's catch up with the chat here. It's
Someone said you were good looking on there.
Well, thank you.
Get a new monitor, pal.
Let's see here.
This vodka you put in here, I can't even taste it.
That means it's the good stuff.
But here's the thing: is this a cider? We have another drink of this thing. It just tastes like straight up apple juice. It doesn't taste like cider to me at all. So I can't tell if the vodka just took the sting out of the cider, or it just isn't just this real weak cider.
It might be. This was the cider that they had at Walmart. So only the best for you, you know.
I thought it was something you picked up. I thought you said you got this in Ohio or something.
Well, it came from Ohio. Let's look at the label again.
I thought this was some high-end cider.
No, this is not high-end. Family grown, made in the USA, the Ohio Cider Company. I guarantee you, this might not even come from Ohio. It might be like apples from Guam or something like that.
I mean, it does kill that vodka. It kills it dead.
Yeah.
I can't taste a lick of vodka.
What I really wanted to have is some hot cider for us, and we could put some rum in there, sort of like a hot toddy thing.
Hot toddy.
But that's
coming.
I was unable to figure out a way to heat the liquid down here. Maybe need to buy a hot plate for the Amigos Studios.
I don't think so. I don't think you need to do that on my account. We got a candle over there.
Yeah, we do.
We'll just set the cup on it. Half-ass.
So there is, let's see. Duncan asked, does anyone know a way to start the Twitch stream rather than having to start from the beginning? To play the stream live rather than start from the beginning when you join the stream? I thought that was what it did automatically, Duncan. Whenever I click on a stream, it always just picks up right where it is.
Hey, Duncan, I can't get your name out of my head. I've had it on my mind all week.
Pishbot.
If I had a lobotomy, I'd still know that name.
He says Burnout 2, Wind Waker, Resident Evil 4, PN03. I don't know what that is. Do you have any ideas what PN03 might be?
No.
So maybe some kind of sports game. Killer 7. Remember Killer 7? That was a weird sort of game.
I remember it got a lot of hype. I don't know if I ever played it.
And Monkey Ball 2. Of course, all the Monkey Balls came out on the GameCube first. That's another killer app for the system.
Monkey Ball was, I will say, that was a fun game.
Yeah. Thank you, Rally Bill. I appreciate it.
Rally Bill.
I was, I still am wearing my school clothes today, so.
You look very dapper, Boat.
Well, when the weather gets cool, that's when I get to wear the stuff that I like to wear. I'd wear this all year if I could, but it makes no sense to wear it when it's 90 degrees outside.
You know, it takes a special kind of person to pull off those sweater vests gimmicks there.
Yeah.
That's not really a sweater vest, is it?
That's exactly what a sweater vest is.
I thought a sweater vest was actually a vest that you had buttons on it.
Oh, well, this is a vest. It just doesn't have buttons on it. I mean,
Can you open it from the side, from the front, though?
I
thought a vest opened. I thought that's a sweater, like a pullover.
No,
sweater.
I think a vest. The definition of a vest is just something that doesn't have arms.
Are you arguing fashion with me?
Well, I'm thinking about British English again, because you know what we call in our very characteristic American way, wife beaters.
Yeah,
they call those vests in England.
They call those vests.
They call those vests.
I see.
Yeah, which if I had to choose between the two names, I know which one I'd go with.
Wife beater. That's right. That sounds more American.
Pishbot says Crazy Taxi is great on the GameCube.
Yes. I know. I played that mostly on the Dreamcast, but yes.
You know what this is something that, actually, Rally Bill, I do look like Angus Young. You're correct.
God, Rally Bill.
Just wait till I pull out the guitar,
glasses, yo.
and you'll see the real Angus Young.
Oh my God, that's an abomination right there.
Pishbot says PN03 is a third-person shooter by Capcom.
Does the PN stand for something? That's what I was sitting there trying to
Yeah,
ponder.
I don't
Do
know.
you remember
I've
all?
never. Maybe that didn't come out here. Maybe it was a Japan and Europe only release.
Again, I didn't own a GameCube at the time, so my exposure. And it really didn't sound like the GameCube was around that long, or maybe just not in my world.
Yeah.
But,
See, I remember the first time I ever saw one. I went over to Jamie's house when I was home from college.
That's
one
where I
year.
played it too, actually.
And he had that Star Wars game, and that
Rogue
Star Wars,
Squadron.
Yeah, it looked so good.
It
And I
was.
like,
That
oh
was one
my
of the best
gosh.
games they released. For
Yeah.
them. I really liked it.
But see, that's the thing. We're talking about all these games, and you're like, oh, that was really good. That was
No, but I didn't kill it.
It had a stable of really top quality titles.
Every console has some good games. I mean, it's not like we've picked out a handful, but I mean, it's not like it had like 1,000 good games. It had like
I feel
maybe
like
10,
I
12
feel
good
like
games.
it's good to bad ratio was higher. Well, definitely higher than the Wii when you consider the amount of shovelware for the Wii.
Yeah, but your good to bad ratio is not indicative of how well a console sold.
Oh
They
no!
sold a hell of a lot more Wiis than they did
Trust me, I'm
GameCube.
not saying that the GameCube outsold anything.
On the flip side, the Wii is basically a GameCube.
Yeah, it plays all the games.
So
and
not just
everything.
that. I mean, the Wii part that's not that much different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very similar.
I remember
So
reading on the
think
internet.
about ponder this for a minute.
Yeah.
They said the GameCube was a marginal success. All right, you'll give me that, right? Let's put some crap on it and re-release it effectively, and bam,
Oh yeah, I mean,
it worked. That's a Nintendo way.
It kept Nintendo in business for years and years and years. The GameCube, what kept the GameCube going during those, or what kept Nintendo going during the GameCube years was the Game Boy Advance. That was its big moneymaker with all the Pokemon games, because that was when Pokemon was really hitting its stride. And but you were talking about every console has a stable of great titles. I beg to differ when we think about our buddy, the Jag.
I'm listening. The Jag has some good titles.
Okay, I challenge you to name 5 great titles for the Jag.
Okay. I would say their version of Doom was pretty good. Their Alien vs. Predator, Tempest 2000, those 3 right there. I think and the thing is, I haven't played all the games, so I've got to base it on ones I've played that I've got. I think Pinball Fantasies is fine. It looks good. It plays well.
Is that the one? No, what was the one that we played that was a jerky herky mess?
You're talking about that crazy pinball game that we played on the Saturn.
No, this was a.
Yeah, but that wasn't the game's fault. We were running it through that computer. That's what made that a problem.
Is that what it was? Okay.
And then so that's 4. Now to be fair, none of these are like games I'm just like, no, it's so good, but they're okay. What would be a 5th game that I think is good enough?
Brutal Sports Football.
I don't have it. I don't have that one for the Jag. I'm trying to think what I've personally played. Kasumi Ninja. There's your other one.
Yes, a classic. A classic.
Like I was reading at theme park, you can't save your game. I read that somewhere. I don't know if that's true.
Oh my gosh.
That would be a bummer, but I
Yeah.
could be wrong. But that just seems like I read that somewhere.
Hasifa says the 3DO and Virtual Boy.
Now the 3DO, I'll fight you on that because we've been playing some 3DO.
Yeah. If you've been looking at the YouTube channel, there's some 3DO.
I could name 10 probably good titles off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Another World, freaking Road Rash, Need for Speed.
That wrestling game. I
That
thought that was
wrestling
great.
game was fun. Royal Pro Wrestling, Flashback. Their version of Doom had great music. The Doom was it was okay.
Right.
Let me think of a few other ones here. That tank game we played.
Yeah.
Was
Seek and
that
Destroy.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was fun. So and those just the 3DO was. People don't realize the 3DO had a lot of titles released for it.
Yeah.
And some of them were good. Now there were some duds too. There's no doubt about it.
The
CDI, you'd have trouble finding those.
Yeah. That's what Chris said. He said he might have confused the CDI with the 3DO.
Now I will say the CDI. When I think about the titles that I want to play, they're almost all Laserdisc games.
Right.
Dragon's Lair,
Mad
Mad
Dog.
Dog McCree, Space Ace.
And of course, you'd want to try the Zelda games, even though
They look horrible.
Yeah.
And the CDI had you used like the remote if you didn't buy a special joystick. That's another console that I don't own,
Yeah.
but I'm working on it.
Now, have you ever played a Virtual Boy?
I've played one. I've never owned one.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, you could have got those things for nothing, and now you can't buy one. They're so
Right.
super expensive, so that probably won't happen.
That's another thing I played over at the Lilies back in the day.
Yeah.
They were always getting the new
They always
consoles.
and nothing's changed with one of those boys.
Yeah. Let's see.
This is just like a free-form pre-show. We have no... Roy, did you have anything go on this week of any consequence that you'd like to talk about on the pre-show?
No, not really.
I mean, I'm trying to think what I did since last Friday. You know, it's, after I went trick or treat. We did that. Did you go?
Yeah,
did you have trick or treaters come around?
Remind me to talk about the Oculus Rift.
Oh,
that
yes.
I have after we talk about Halloween.
Yes.
So Halloween was Tuesday, right?
That's right. Yes.
Unfortunately, I was at the Charleston Community Orchestra rehearsal during trick or treat.
Why would they schedule that on the night of trick or treat?
Well, it's every Tuesday night.
I guess those guys don't have kids.
Yeah. But I did see, because we have the camera thing. You know, I forgot to turn off the lights. So there were like 8 billion kids coming to turn off. You know, coming to
you're like
knock
you didn't
on the
get
door.
toilet paper or something.
Yeah. So, but you guys had a fun adventure, right?
We had a good time. The little kid, my little son Luke, dressed as Pikachu, and we hooked up with his buddy Brooke, and we walked all the way around our big, huge neighborhood.
Now you went down to the rich people's houses on the bottom,
everywhere.
right? Yeah.
We went everywhere. We didn't discriminate. We'll take anyone's candy. We went around and had a good time. We actually got the entire trip in just under an hour.
Oh, very nice.
So about 7 o'clock, we were chilling. You know, I took my. I've got a light bulb. It's an LED light bulb that plays music through a Bluetooth. Remember that thing?
Mm-hmm.
I put it in the front light thing, and I had Halloween music on it. And Halloween doesn't end until 8. And so, even though the streets were empty, the lights were all off, I blared Halloween music right up to the last second just to get my fill.
And so Teresa stayed at home to hand out candy?
She always does that, and she stayed at home and give out. Teresa was so excited, she made up gift bags for everybody.
Oh, very nice.
So, like, if you came to my house, you got, like, all kinds of little goodies in a bag.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she only had, like, maybe 15 kids, something like that. So, that part of the circle didn't get that much action. So, but we had a good time. You know?
Cool.
I'm glad it's over now. I've already taken down the Halloween decorations outside.
Don't have to fool with it for another year.
I'm done with that. You know. But
no more haunted truck stop.
No more haunted truck stop. Tomorrow, though, I'm going to a. Tomorrow I'm going to a psychic fair. Yeah.
What? I think this deserves some elaboration.
Okay. What do you want to know?
Everything.
What do you mean?
Okay, a psychic fair. So are there multiple psychics?
There are multiple psychics.
Okay.
And the accompanying, industries that support psychics. You know, your tarot card, your local artisans that deal in the ways of the mystics. Mm-hmm. Your people that do tea leaves. Your people that I know. Teresa wants to take a couple classes at the fair, and. It's going to be something. I told her I'd go, so I'm going to take her.
Now, psychics are mainly concerned with... Are they mainly concerned with reaching out to the beyond to contact people or telling the future?
Well, I've never personally partaken in a psychic reading. I don't put much stock in that stuff. But from what I've gathered, they are mostly for future telling stuff.
Okay.
Although, talking to your dead relatives...
That might be on the cards.
I think I could be a psychic. You have to be sort of quick-witted. Mm-hmm. I think I could pull it off.
Yeah.
You know,
you have that thing under the table that you hit, and it makes the.
I mean, the tables. Who's banging it? Who's banging that table?
Right.
You know, not that I don't want to badmouth any of the psychics that are listening to our show.
There are hundreds.
Let me tell you something. I'm in favor of psychics, big time. You know, when wrestlers fall on a bunch of thumbtacks, and people are like, "Geez, they fell on thumbtacks," but really they're not hurt too bad. Mm-hmm. They're like the psychics of the ring. They've got an angle they're working. You know?
Right.
And if someone's got psychic powers, you know. And you want to go to Dunbar to the park and deploy your wares.
That's sort of the way that I think about it. Like, if you really have psychic powers, are you going to be hanging out at the park in Dunbar, or are you going to be in your palatial estate, you know, taking advantage of your powers?
Well, but many psychics are asked that question, and the answer is twofold.
Okay. One,
a true psychic's calling is to help others who weren't blessed with this gift.
Sure.
Secondly, the psychic energies are fickle and don't work on a on-command basis. You have to use them, apply them as they see fit, not as you see fit. And so, for example, as a psychic, I couldn't say, "Well, I need this week's lottery numbers," write them down. It won't work that way. But what you can do is tell, you know, some patron to. Not take the bus this week. You don't like the way it feels.
Okay, so it's more of a feeling.
Really, there's two ways you can look at it. It's like a feeling, or it's complete and utter crap. your choice.
Right.
I choose not to make a choice in this particular case.
Right. Well, please report back after the
I'll try to shoot some footage of the psychic fair tomorrow.
I like to think of it as a Renaissance fair.
Yeah.
With just like lots of people in turbans.
It's nothing like that, and there won't be turban one there. See, you're thinking of more of your Indian, hot, like your yogis.
Oh, yeah.
They're not, no yogis are coming to this. These are more like fogies, what you're going to be seeing. The turban will be wrapped around their waist to prevent excessive leakage, if you know what I'm saying.
So I made a pretty big purchase for the past week. It actually arrived a week from yesterday, or a week from tomorrow.
See, you're like a psychic.
I am a psychic.
It arrived a week from yesterday. So it arrives next week. That's astounding. How will it be?
I was super excited to get it, but not so excited that I couldn't go out and hang out with you and the boys last weekend. We should talk about that. So,
that was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, there used to be a time for many, many years for Aaron that every Saturday, like clockwork, he would get together with the Chudley and Matt.
Matt.
And play some board games.
Yeah, and Brent and Matt and Mike and Jamie and you occasionally, and even Chad.
And but recently, due to a combination of factors, it's not been going down.
That's right.
And so, but there was sort of a resurrection of that tradition last weekend.
Yep.
We went to Graziano's, a local Italian place, and avail ourselves of their fine cuisine, and then proceeded to go to Matt's house and play a card game that took upwards of 3 hours to get through.
We played Betrayal at the House on Haunted Hill, which was fun. And then we played, what was the name of that game, Bo?
Machicoro.
Machicoro, which must be Spanish for never-ending card game.
Yeah. I mean, I've played probably 15 or 20 games of Machicoro with any number of people, 2, 3, 4. Not one of them has lasted longer than an hour.
Yeah.
So
this one went into double overtime.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was fun.
It was a fun time. Are we going to do that again tomorrow?
Doubt it. Tree won't be doing her thing, so we'll have to see. So I want to hear more about your thing.
Okay. So
a week from tomorrow, the thing comes in.
That's
What's
right.
It like?
Well, it's going to be. I can't do that. I can't constantly project into the future. At least not without.
It hurts,
booze.
doesn't it? Yeah.
I got an Oculus Rift.
Right.
So
you can get an ointment to treat that.
As you've mocked me for multiple months now,
because
I have this huge, massive PC with a very expensive graphics card.
And tell everybody why you bought that PC.
And I bought it for virtual reality.
And how many months ago was that?
It's been a couple of years.
Okay, and go ahead.
Okay, so finally, the price has come down into what I like to call the affordable zone, aka around $350. It's still expensive, but it's not as expensive as it used to be.
Your zone is a lot larger than mine.
Yeah. So when the Rift came out, it was $600, and it was tough for me to swallow that. $340, I could swallow it better.
There's been a lot of price reductions on the old Rift.
Yeah. And so I got it, and I put it, set it up, and everything, and I after talking to our friends who all own these things, I committed one of the cardinal sins of virtual reality, and that is switching between games too quickly. What happens is when you switch between games, 5 or 10 minutes with each game, and when you switch right as soon as you start to feel a little bit ill, those feelings compound themselves. So by the end of the thing, I just felt like I wanted to die.
I read that on the forums. You said you were ill.
Yeah. I felt seriously
It is draining
sick.
to a certain degree. Now, they tell me you get used to it after a while.
Right. So I got a couple games. I got Job Simulator, which I think you've played.
Yes.
It's a comical take on kind of routine work things. And I also got a submarine simulator called Iron Wolf VR.
Oh, okay. Now, that one I haven't heard of.
Yeah, and this is I got it on. I can't remember how I figured it out or how I found out about it, but Jamie's real into it too, so he's purchased it too.
Yeah. And
after the podcast tonight, we are going to dive deep into the Iron Wolf VR.
Now, Brent got his 3D thing. What was it? A year and a half ago, something like that. Mm-hmm. And that Job simulator was the first that thing that he had right away. And I thought to myself, as I saw your video on this, I thought, wow, this has been out a year and a half. And here I am looking at someone play this Job simulator. Because surely they've got something else That's more impressive than this in the virtual reality area.
That's sort of the problem with virtual reality is that, this came out and they said, well, these are the things that are cool about it. And they haven't really figured out how to proceed past that because you're limited by a couple factors. One, you're limited by not a lot of people have a dedicated room like your brother has to set up true room scale where you can walk around. And then the second problem is that even if you can walk around, you're tethered to your machine by a cord coming out of the back of your head.
Yes.
What kinds of experiences would you like to have in virtual reality?
Well, I would like to have, a third-person video game experience like a Doom or a Quake or something like that with the VR.
Now, wait a minute, a third person or a first person?
What I mean is, like, okay, yeah, you're right, it'd be a first person, but I want, to be able to play a game like that in VR. That would be something else. I like the horror stuff, and I hear there's some good horror games.
Yeah.
So I think that would be fun. I think some, and this is going to sound lame, but, I would be down with some murder mystery or some even almost like point and clicky type stuff, except
just where you could just look around and see everything.
Like in a point and click game, you click on the vase and you pick it up. I'd like to just walk over and go like that and stick it in my bag.
Yeah,
Bam!
Yeah,
it's point and click with your hands, and that would be kind of fun. I would like to see some sports games. Boxing is an easy one, I would think of, or maybe even a fighting game that you could use your body. And I don't mean like the Wii, but I mean. You could take some notes from the Wii.
Right.
Like Wii, I don't know if you ever played Punch-Out on the Wii. It's fun.
Yeah.
It works. It works with the remotes. You don't have to use the remotes, but it's fun. I would like to see something like that. Like a nice boxing sim would be great.
Yeah. I think those are all good ideas.
I would also, one thing, the best thing for me, I have the VR goggles, they're real low-end ones, right? I really like the tourism aspects of it. I could sit down and watch, and I like some software that let me walk through a museum. I would like to walk through a prison, or like to walk through like an abandoned prison, or walk
Alcatraz or something
something like that, or walk through the beautiful spots in Europe.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if these exist. I'm assuming some of this stuff exists in some capacity, but that's what I would like to see. I think VR actually has more uses in that area than it does in the gaming area, at least early on. I would also like to see something where you could simulate your home. And so if you're not home, you can put the VR on and hang out with your family.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about that in the past. Like if you're at a hotel or something, you throw your stuff on. And at least you could sort of be, I was lonely as hell when I was at the academy for those months. I would have killed it to have been to put something on and just been to watch TV with my kids or hang out.
Now, what would your kids see at home?
They would see me. We would all have to have some kind of rig, or something.
So even though the kid is at home, he's still wearing the thing also.
Sure. Or unless you want to just hook it up to some kind of camera. I don't know how the logistics work, but it's doable. It wouldn't be that complicated.
I was just wondering if you wanted to have some sort of you remember on what was it, that crazy Netflix show that it got canceled on Fox, Arrested Development. And I think there was a telepresence robot, or a guy with it was basically a head and a TV, and he's going around like that.
This would be just something simple, but it doesn't take much to alleviate your loneliness. If you could look in the helmet and see your house and you could just have a camera in there to a certain degree, where you could just have 3D vision. You don't have to even move. You just I'm home. You can see your kid. That's better than nothing.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of aspects. I think there's a lot of learning aspects to virtual reality, classroom stuff. The virtual classroom. You think about it, you're like, oh, who needs that crap? But being in a classroom I've always found was helpful to your learning. Just the fact that you're in it. Learning it off your computer at home, I never thought it was effective as having a teacher there. So I think there are aspects of that, especially people in rural areas. I know this is more than you wanted, but that's the kind of stuff I can envision. Now, I'm sure some of that stuff's in the works or already out there, but virtual concerts. I've watched virtual basketball and stuff, and that stuff's just great to watch. Sports.
I'm looking forward to it. I've really just scratched the surface of what's available out there, so I'm looking forward to it. Looks like
virtual racing. Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
That would be also really cool.
Duncan says, I think games like Everyone Goes to the Rapture would work well in VR.
Oh, wow.
Something in the Portal world. You know, a lot of it just depends on how much you can take as far as locomotion while standing still. Like, I know for a fact that if I tried to do Doom or something and I was moving at that speed while standing still, it would do a number on me.
Have you ever seen a movie called Strange Days? Mm-mm. This is a tremendous film, okay? It was about at the time it was the future, year 2000, and of course it was a lot more advanced than we were. But they had this, they had a VR style gimmick in it where you actually jacked into your mind, and you could one of the bits in it was like people would sell discs back and forth on the black market, and it'd be like a disc of some guys breaking into an apartment, or it'd be like, I remember he sold one guy a disc of like a girl in the shower, because you also get to, you don't see them, but you are them, and you experience what it feels like.
Sort of like Demolition Man getting it on.
VR doesn't do that. Mm-hmm. But what it could do, I would like to see somebody doing some awesome parkour with a helmet on, mm-hmm. and you could experience that. Like YouTube has some stuff sort of like that.
Right.
I mean, I would like to see people doing things that you can't do. I saw something in a video one time where these guys were exploring these ice caves. It was awesome, and this is real low-resi stuff. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that stuff should be available.
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of stuff that I like in VR as much as anything else. Mm-hmm. But that's just me.
Well, at some point in the future, we'll get you on the Oculus here, and we can do some Amigos plays of different stuff. If you see anything, let me know, and I'll download it.
Yeah. We'll do.
It says, if you want horror, there's a VR mod in the works for Alien Isolation, says Chris.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah. And there is a boxing game. I guess Chris is a big VR guy, so it's good. I've heard of hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades. I'm waiting for it to go on sale.
Didn't Brent have that?
Yeah, he's got it. It's a pretty neat little game.
It just looked tech demo-y to me.
Well, a lot of this stuff is sort of what that is.
I mean, how long is it going to take before we get something solid? That's my thing.
Well,
there should be games out right now. It's been plenty long enough to where they could have something put together.
Here's the thing. Games that look like there's something put together cost a whole ton of money. And there's not a whole lot of VR headsets out there. So you're going to have to reach that critical mass where it makes sense to do something like Call of Duty.
Let me tell you something. If I'm Sony or the Oculus Rift guys, whoever, and I've invested all this time in R&D and research and development to get these things on the market, you could be darn sure I'd take some money and throw it at a game manufacturer and say, make me something that'll sell this thing.
You'd think that would be the case, right. But for some reason it hasn't happened so far.
I mean, even the N-Gage had some decent stuff. I mean, if you're going to have a killer piece of hardware, you've got to have someone make something. Like, I've heard people talk about that Elite game, which you told me you're not that interested in, right?
What? No, I love Elite.
I thought you played it and didn't like it. That's why you didn't bother getting the first round of VR.
No. I mean,
that's what you told me.
Maybe I don't know. I can't even remember if I like stuff or not.
What?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. It just depends.
VR for real.
Yeah.
You're goofy.
I don't know.
Do you play that game? What's
Elite?
It called? The new Elite?
Elite Dangerous? I've played probably like 40 hours of it.
40 hours?
Yeah.
Since when?
Well, it's been a while.
Okay, because I remember you told. I mean, that was part of the reason you just told me you were getting tired of that, so you weren't into it that much.
Well, that's the thing.
And now you say you love it. That's why I can't figure out. Because I mean, that was sort of the.
It's
killer app,
It's
right?
a love-hate thing with Elite because sometimes I'll when I get into it, I really like it, but then when I think about how I'm literally wasting my life, because 90% of the game. I mean, because really all video games, you don't want to think about it too much. But this game, you're literally traveling between two distant points in the galaxy, literally doing nothing. I've
played a game like that, but that Jamie's into. I can't remember or Mike's into it. It's what's the other game where you travel around the universe in real time? Effectively, I can't remember.
Like EVE Online or something like that.
And it was the same thing. It's like, I mean, any game that has a built-in web browser for you to kill time, not good.
Exactly. So that's really where. But I thought, well, maybe if I'm doing this in VR, it'll be cooler. The sad part is that I haven't even fired up Elite. And here's another thing that I hate about VR.
I'm going to talk you to send this thing back right now. He's going to box it up. Folks. I see the box sitting right there.
Yeah, if I there was a point last week after I had my episode, I was just like, boy, if I got this thing from Amazon, it'd already be going back. But I got it on eBay secondhand, so it's sticking with me until I decide to sell it.
Explore it. That's what I want you to do.
Yeah, I'm not giving up. But the problem is that with Elite, it's a seated experience. You can't set your sensors up to be, you have to set your sensors up for either standing or sitting. And so you can't go back and forth, and it's kind of a hassle to reset things up.
I will say that's the one advantage that the little cheapo headset I've got is like this. There's no wires.
Yeah.
So I can get up and look around. I mean, I can't walk anywhere, but I can get her up and look around, and it's much easier on my body.
And the newest generation of headsets that all come out this month, they all have what's called inside-out tracking, which you don't need the sensors. It does it all.
How much are those going to cost?
They cost the same as the Rift.
Yeah.
The reason why I went with the Rift is because it's got the controllers. The controllers are second to none, and I thought that might make a difference.
Well, what do you think so far?
Like I said, I'm going to try it again tonight. Hopefully, I won't get sick.
At first, when you started talking about this, you seemed real fired up, and now you don't seem fired up.
That is my life. Like, I can start talking about something, and then midway through, I'll switch gears, and I'll be like, boy, I actually hate this.
You know, the boat, my good friend Boat, if I could only give you a little bit of my bottled excitement about things, because if I don't have one of these things, and I don't see myself being able to get one, but you've got to explore them and don't listen to Mike and Jamie and Brent. Those guys could do their own thing. Sit down. Look through the menus. Look at some reviews. And just try some different stuff. Experience stuff that aren't games. Mm-hmm. You will enjoy this, I promise you, because this technology is tremendous. You just need to find your little niche and look around. It'll be fun for you. There are things that haven't come out yet that are going to be exciting. It's a very exciting thing. It's virgin territory. It'll be fun. You got to look at it from that angle.
Yeah, I should. So I'll report back. I'll probably shoot some more Amigos Plays VR stuff. I think I'm going to record this thing I do with Jamie tonight and the submarine. And so
do they have like a virtual arcade on there? Or something
they do.
Like that?
They do.
You should do that. Also, the virtual pinball is pretty good. I tried that.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to make that work. That requires some trickery.
Is there any virtual like retro games on there?
Well, they literally have an arcade that you can walk around.
Right, but I know that. But is there like emulators and stuff for it?
Well, yeah. The way it works is that each machine is a different emulator, so you walk up to it and it'll. But yeah, all that stuff's
coming. You should play Amiga in VR because I want to see you in VR
playing Lionheart,
trying to set up the fast memory and stuff in the emulator. It's like, dadgummit, I got to put it in PAL.
Man, I don't even want to think about that. Oh boy. Okay, guys. Yeah, Chris, I'm going to go back and read all of this later on because you've got some great recommendations here. And the great thing about Twitch is that all this stuff is archived. We're also going to put this pre-show up for free, too.
This is a freebie?
Yeah, this is a freebie.
And this would explain the level of content this time around.
What are you talking about? This is a normal pre-show.
This is good stuff here.
Yeah. But it's time to end. It's time for the pre-show to end.
You only get so much for free. Now you got to pay. Oh, wait, the show's free, too. Damn it.
The show's free.
How am I going to get rich off this sucker?
Rich?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your buddy.
You don't really pay attention to what I'm saying, do you?
Sometimes.
It's probably not the worst. Just give me some more apple juice.
Okay, we'll do a quick refill before the show.
Set me up.
You would not believe how incredibly hot I am right now, wearing all this.
Well,
all this stuff.
I can't deny that your vest doesn't turn me on as well.
You know, I really like Argyle.
Yeah.
It's sort of my deal.
You know, why are you wearing that on the show? I mean, you're home now. You could have taken this stuff off.
I literally, as soon as I come home, I grab something to eat, and I spend the rest of the time until you get here setting up for the podcast. Mm-hmm. And it took me even longer this week, every 2 weeks, because whenever I come back from your place on Sundays, I never set the audio back up, so I have to go through that rigmarole.
We had a good run this Sunday, though, didn't we?
It was great.
Yeah, we had a good.
It was great. I enjoy. I think Doom is the only thing you put out so far, right?
No, you weren't there when I put out, but
Killer
I
Bees.
also put out Killer Bees.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
And I also made and produced and released a new version of the Luke Show this week. Luke Show number 2. He played Gex.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, so. Awesome. He was very excited, although he's still getting his feet. But I mean, I used my other mic, and it would, hey, I can do it. Even I can do it. Even dummy. So that was fun.
All right, guys, we are going to end the pre-show. We will not say goodbye though, because the show is not going anywhere. All right.
We always say goodbye. You're going to burn up. Why don't you take that thing off? Take your mic off and just take it off.
I feel like I've gone this far with it on.
What did suffer? It's up to you, man.
I'll suffer. I'll suffer in silence. We do need to figure out what's going on.
During the show, we'll continuously talk about how hot it is.
Well, like I told you about when I put the fireplace back here, right? It physically made me uncomfortable. I was burning up. Is that wrong? Does that mean I'm psychic?
You know, I went to a restaurant today. I'll tell the story while you're jacking around. And the lady at the counter just looked so sad. And so I paid her, and I said, "How are you today?" You know? And she says, "Oh," she goes, "not too great." She's like, "It's really wet and drizzly out there." I'm like, "Yeah, it sure is." She goes, But it was nice yesterday. I was like, yeah, it was real beautiful. She goes, yeah, I didn't like it. I'm like, I was depressed. And I was like, why were you depressed? And she goes, I'm always depressed. She goes, but especially when it's sunny. She goes, I'm less depressed when it's rainy. Is that wrong? Do you think that's a bad thing? And I went, yeah, that's bad.
It's getting real.
And I'm like, just give me my receipt, darling.
That's why you should never engage anyone in conversation.
I love engaging people. I let strangers.
I was going to say that episode at the Dollar Tree should have.
No, it never. Man, I just keep it going. I can't help myself, man.
That's good. It's good. That's why you're good for the show.
Oh yeah,
because
I can't shut up.
You always have something to say.
That gets me in trouble.
All right, don't forget to remind me to.
Go ahead. I've got something to remind you about.
Chris Folds has a. Oh yeah, and you're not allowed to look. Oh man, it's going to be ruined. All right.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. I need you to don't look at the screen for a while. Just look somewhere else.
Which screen?
Any of them.
See, this makes me nervous.
It's a quiz thing. He found an ad.
While you're doing that, listen to this.
Okay.
We need to plug our Twitter, our Instagram, and all of our other stuff because we never do that. We really need to do a plug.
We do that every week.
No, we never plug the Instagram like with the actual address.
I don't know what the actual address is.
That would explain it then.
Instagram,
because
Amigos.
We got people working hard on that stuff, and I feel bad.
Let's see, Instagram, everything, Amiga. I can't even find it here.
Can I look now?
Oh, wait, hold on a second. I just need to print this. How do I print it?
You really need to print it?
Well, the problem is that you're going to look. Okay, I'll just have you look away on the show.
Okay.
Okay. That's. I don't know why. Tiny Sausage is now following you on Twitch.
Wow. I got no retort for that one.
Okay. Now I need to.
Man, all this for free? Are you kidding me?
I know. Just think.
Castlevania. Burn that.
You get to experience this every week. Why is that not working? Why is that? What? Oh, I see. Remove. Okay, and that's working.
Hey, everyone in the chat room. How's it going?
Okay. All right. Can we still look at our screens? You can look at your screen, Duncan. You can see how well Aaron does. If you want to participate in the quiz, though, you can look away because the clue will be given auditorially.
Did you update the Patreon list this week so we don't have any repeat issues?
Yes. I had several people last week email in that were upset that they were left out of the song.
Oh, man. Even the second song, they weren't in that one either.
Yeah. So.
Man. You don't want to alienate those folks.
I know. They're our bread and butter.
They keep the lights on.
Okay, you ready to start the show?
Oh, I thought we were started already. Yeah, right. I'm ready.
Okay, so this is going to be the part where
do we have anything special we need to take care of tonight?
So we're going to do...
Did you find the Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff?
I totally forgot about that as soon as you said it. Hey, there's Stitcher.
You don't have to build that. I mean, you can.
I don't even know how that got there. Okay. We don't have an Instagram button up here. We got Facebook. I'll just go ahead and pull up all of our things.
Well, I mean, you can just hit that and do what you want.
Okay. Then we'll do...
Hold on. You know what I'm trying to find this week?
What?
I should bring this up on the show. I'm just going to wait.
Okay.
Is there going to be a chance to random chat on the show?
There's going to be lots of whatever you want.
Hold on. Hey, I know that guy.
Yeah.
He's the Amigos' good and dear friend.
You know, he's trying to sell, or he's trying to buy a never mind. I shouldn't talk about that on the show.
Wow, it's a tease. Are you gonna talk about it on the show?
No.
So this is
something on his own personal Facebook.
Oh, I see. So. Man, you and him are tight then, eh?
We talk every once in a while.
No kidding.
No, actually, I've never said a word to him.
Oh, dadgummit, Bode. And I was buying every bit of it.
I just enjoy seeing these people that are such huge stars, just their normal Facebook things because they're just
I
like
petted a
everybody
cat
else.
today.
Right, exactly. Okay, I think I've got everything up here.
All right, including.
I've got Facebook, Google+, Instagram, Twitter.
Where's the Stitcher? I'm just joking.
I don't.
It doesn't matter. No one
Yeah.
uses Stitcher, but I mean, you can.
Don't look at that.
I don't know what you're talking
All
about.
right, good. Okay.
Change the box name and stuff on the video.
No.
Gosh,
Like I said,
I'm just happy I remembered that.
how is
Wow.
that? How is that not the first? Okay, images. Man, look at that box.
Yeah, I've got. Hey, believe it or not, guess what?
You have that box?
No, I've got knowledge about the box art.
Oh.
Yeah, it came up through my through my research.
You said it came up through your Bleemcast.
You know, my Bleem cast. Yeah, I've got a Bleem cast. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's a week-to-week, game-by-game podcast of stuff I played on Bleem.
Man,
It's not getting that many hits
sounds
these
great.
days. Yeah. Do you remember Bleem?
yeah. I wanted Bleem so bad. Playing
That sounds so wrong. Man, nothing beats the Bleem.
PlayStation 1 games on my Dreamcast.
I've got 2 of the releases. They did Tekken 3 and something. They worked. They were good. Oh, it was a Gran Turismo 2, I think. I do.
Okay. Maybe we should have the Ohio cider representing.
Oh, yeah, because it's so freaking good. You got to get your vodka
thing-
up there. If you put the vodka up there, it looks like we're real. Of course, they'll get us banned.
Yeah. That cost me $1.98.
Wow.
I mean,
get screwed.
I spare no expense.
You know
when
where
it
they've got
comes
the
to-
good ciders? Bob Evans Farm.
They do, man.
That's the good stuff.
Let's talk about. Did you go to Bob Evans Farm in middle school?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I still remember when they brought us up there. It was like real cold in the morning. They're like, "All right, everybody, sit down," and they had all these picnic tables and just like biscuits and gravy and cider everywhere.
And then they'll just turn you loose.
And then they turn you loose. Go hang out
You
in
have
the
to
farm
go park in
museum.
that field and walk into the road.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I've been up
Yep.
there, man. Oh, yeah. Then you don't do jack squat for 6 hours.
Right, you
Yeah.
literally just hang around Bob Evans Farm.
You know, one time my buddy was drinking some of that. He had a big glass of cider, and I said, "Hey, give me a drink of that cider." And he's like, "I'm not giving you no cider." And then just to be a jerk, he turned it up and started guzzling it. So I just went like this.
Oh.
And he couldn't drink fast enough, and it poured all over his face. And then sweat bees came. And the rest of the day, and I was like, "That's what you get, pal. Selfish bum."